Hey everyone, welcome to your Aries New Moon workshop. This new moon has so many beautiful, energetic, and astrological aspects. So let's just hop straight in. The exact peak of this new moon is going to be on Sunday, April 11th at approximately 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you've been feeling a little bit sleepy or drowsy or just lethargic, this is completely normal, especially given that we had the dark moon phase in Pisces conjunct Neptune. I had so many friends who were just feeling like they wanted to slow down and relax. So if you're feeling this, even all the way through Sunday, even though everyone will be saying it's a new moon, technically it is, but until we get to that exact peak where the new moon will then start her new 28-day cycle, you may just be going through a lot of purging and releasing. So please note that. And with Aries, this is Cardinal Fire Energy. This is passionate, enthusiastic, bold, ambitious. It is that ram, that one-hit KO, striking a match. We want to initiate. We want something to grow and to get bigger and better. And so finally, those with prominent Aries energy, sun, rising, moon, you're going to be feeling like everything is finally working out in your favor. Last year, Aries, Capricorn, Cardinal energy had to deal with a lot. And telling Aries to wait and that they can't have their turn and that they can't have fun is something that they don't naturally enjoy. But now, finally, we're seeing a lot of energy supporting Aries and Aries dominant individuals. So this is your time to initiate. And for everyone too, this new moon is really going to put you in a great position to enact new practices with regards to work, health, and self-love. So these are things we're going to be focusing on in this workshop. And just something that may seem very obvious, but you only have 100% to give. Not 110, not 200, 100%. There's only so many hours in a day. I was reading an interview with Cameron Diaz, and she is raising a child right now, and so many people are asking her if she's going to go back to films. And she was saying, when you're on set for 16, 18 hours a day. And so if you're taking all that time to do a movie and to maybe appease your fans, you're not spending time with your family or on your health or on yourself in those moments. And so with this Aries energy, when you're deciding what you want to initiate or new things that you want to start, you also have to realize that certain aspects of your life may not be as prominent. An easy example is when people start a new relationship with a romantic suitor. They sometimes have less time for friendships, and said friendships could be mad about that. But if you think about it, if you only have one day a week to be overly social and you get to choose between supporting a new relationship or not, chances are you want to invest the time into that new relationship to help it grow. Just like when you plant a garden, you're not just going to plant it and not weed it or water it. And so it's not saying you can't do it all, but by continually putting forth so much energy into all these different things and not simply focusing on what you want, it may just simply cause burnout, which is very common for Aries or Martian type individuals. So just be aware of that. And this goes for starting a new workout regime where you're literally tearing muscle fibers apart. You're going to be more tired. You need to put more time into your nutrition and rest in order to get stronger. If you're now focusing on work or business, it's going to take a lot more time up, and then you may not have as much time to work out, to spend time with friends. So just be aware of that, because I think sometimes we get into this mindset that we can go, do, and then we keep hitting the same roadblocks, or we keep cycling through burnout, and we're not actually advancing as quickly or in the ways that we want. So this is just something to note. And going back to Cameron Diaz, she was in this movie, I think it was like 10 years ago, The Other Woman. And I barely remember this movie, but there was one scene with Nicki Minaj, who acts as Cameron Diaz's secretary, and she went, "Selfish people live longer." And that line always stuck out to me, and I'm not saying that you have to be selfish, but put yourself first. This is really what this Aries new moon is calling us to do, to ensure you're pouring from an overflowing cup And it means that you don't have to respond to everyone. You don't have to say yes to every invite. You just now get to focus on exactly what you want. Because a lot of people too, what I'm seeing with clients is that for those who've been doing the work for the past 6, 8, 10 months, they're now releasing the need to control and releasing all of these ties that the ego is trying to control with regards to love, a lot of it, work, money, and success. And there are some people who've been initiating change or really putting in the work for the past 6, 8, 12 months, and they're getting a little bit frustrated or exhausted, or they're really having doubt and losing faith in what they're manifesting or what goals they're pursuing. And again, pouring into yourself, that self-care. A lot of time when we're so desperate for, let's say, a lover or a partner, it's because we want them to nourish us, and we want that love and compassion that we can give to ourselves, but we're just wanting maybe a quick fix. Not everyone, but you can see where you're not giving that love to yourself first and give that, or what you're wanting from a partner, give it to yourself now. So that partner isn't completing you, it's just an extension of yourself. And I always say to clients as well, the more work that you're doing on yourself, your health, your beauty, your work, you're just now elevating your frequency to attract a better partner, to attract better friendships, to attract better opportunities. So yes, there are times you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but then there are also times you have to go inward and build that energetic foundation to allow these new opportunities to land and to settle, and that you can hold them without jeopardizing it or thinking that you're not worthy or that you're not capable of healing and doing all the work that you need to do to help said relationship, work opportunity, or health to grow fruitfully. So just some things to think about. Also too, timing is key. If we're talking from an astrological perspective, as I said, Mars was square Saturn for most of last year, especially when Mars was retrograde and Saturn was retrograde. Hence why Aries and Capricorn individuals felt very heavy and very stressed. And even if you think back to certain prominent figures, a lot of them overcame huge obstacles and went through years, if not decades, of drought or strife, or until they finally hit their break. Currently, I'm reading this book called The Invisible Influence by Jonah Berger, and it was talking about how, of course, J.K. Rowling got rejected a dozen times by different publishers saying, people are not going to read a children's book this long, don't quit your day job, all these things, until she finally hit it big, and then everything came up. What was interesting is that after the Harry Potter series, apparently she wrote this book called The Cuckoo's Calling under a ghostwriter's name, and it hardly sold at all. I think 1,500 copies, until someone realized it was written by J.K. Rowling, and then it skyrocketed. So it's interesting that she is so famous and she has such a beautiful way of writing, but if we didn't realize it was her, it's just another great book that potentially gets lost in the mix. And this is also with regards to influencers or people, influencers, and people on social media who will post great content or just have a huge following. Of course, having discernment on what we're reading, whether it's true or not with regards to any topic. It was telling that just because someone might be prominent, fact check it, do your due diligence, because we're now being placed in this situation, especially with the nodes right now in Gemini and Sagittarius, where information and news sources are coming out left, right, and center. Every social media is being activated and pumped into, and us seeing all these different energies, all these different people posting are directly affecting us and can sometimes affect what we believe to be true and what we think we should and should not be doing, even down to where we want a vacation or what we should be eating or what's trending in terms of fashion and beauty and purpose. So with that, and going back to what it is you actually want, and with regards to your self-love, this was where I would kind of caution if you need to take a step back from social media or talking with certain people or groups, so you can come back down to yourself and your core beliefs, and you're not getting continually affected and influenced by your external surroundings, and just simply ask what you are wanting. And once you know that, you don't have to apologize. You can simply trust that these downloads are meant for you, so you can continually walking down that path, having full faith and trusting that this is what you're meant to do to get to that end destination. Even if there happens to be a beautiful detour that has great scenery, you get to meet amazing people on the way. Those detours are often where you meet amazing friends, great lovers, opportunities. It's not the end destination. It's going through and trusting that what you're meant to do along the way is sometimes so much better than getting there. Because I think we've all had those huge moments in life where we finally achieve something grand, and then you get there, it's almost anticlimactic because you've done all this work and you're like, okay, now I'm here, what next? Not all the time. A lot of times you can celebrate those beautiful achievements, but I just want to caution everyone that we are being classically conditioned by social media every day. And sometimes what we think that we should be valuing or what we should be working towards is not our own thoughts or our own beliefs. And taking back that power, using this Aries moon to your advantage, is really going to serve you well. So just some things to think about. Also, if you want to read that book, Invisible Influence by Jonah Berger, it's a great read. Even just in terms of business tactics or what we're being influenced by huge corporations and companies, very telling. So those are the key themes that I wanted to go after. Yeah, and even with regards to timing what's going on currently, of course, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are getting a nice boost because we have Jupiter currently in Aquarius and the North Node in Gemini. And with all that air energy, of course, Aries now gets to benefit because Aries is a fire sign, very compatible with this air energy. And so if we're looking at the transits right now with this Aries new moon, we see that the sun and the moon are at 22 degrees Aries. And then we have Venus currently at 26 and Mercury at 14 degrees Aries. So we have quite the Aries stellium, or just energy concentrated in this sign. So if you have dominant Aries energy, as I said, you're really going to feel this lunation if you haven't already felt it now. And I really think that with this new moon combined with Mercury's energy in Aries, things are going to move quickly. So if you've been waiting for certain documents, if you've been waiting for people to get back to you, if you've been wanting to launch something, this new moon energy leading in through all of next week is very beneficial to do so. I will say, with Venus being at 26 degrees Aries, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, power, and obsession, is currently at 26 degrees Capricorn. So it's making quite the frictional square. So this can manifest in two ways. One way of just being obsessed or constantly thinking about love or relationships or friendships nonstop and feeling like you need to control them. Or it can just mean that you're really doing a lot of the work to bring in new love, new money, new opportunity, and releasing the outcome and knowing that you can't control it. I think that's really going to be a pivotal step with that Venus square Pluto energy. And with those individuals that have late cardinal placements, so let's say 24 to 26 degrees Capricorn, Aries, Libra, or Libra, Aries, Capricorn, or Cancer, you will feel this significantly. And then at the end of April, we have Pluto going retrograde. So just note that if you're feeling this huge change is coming or something big is entering your life, that Pluto energy can really be a monumental force that can elicit quite the grand change. And I would say too, if you have late Capricorn energy, any planet or any angle, especially because that Pluto is going to be conjunct whatever planet or angle you have, and that will be huge. So if you have Venus in late degrees Capricorn, your love or relationships or money might be amplified. Mercury, new insights, downloads, or communication, things like that. So just some things to note with that energy. And with the current lunation, we have Jupiter in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, both sextiling all of this beautiful Aries energy. So we have the influence of Jupiter also making a trine to Mars. So if you don't know the aspects in astrology very well, that's fine, but these are all benefic energies that are all going to help you really move forward, to go after what you want, to have that ambition and that energy and that drive to pursue whatever it is you want, and to not be inhibited or to think what other people might say, because it's your life and you get to choose whatever you want to do. And so Mars is going to give us that energy, and with this being a new moon in Aries, it's a lunation ruled by Mars, and Mars currently in Gemini. You might be having a lot of thoughts or ideas or nuances on how you want to initiate new change into your life, or a new path that's coming through. And then that Jupiter in Aquarius is going to help you think outside the box, or in order for you to get ahead, there might be beautiful collaborations or working with friends that can really pave the way into something beautiful. So these are just certain energies that are all at play with this lunation that's making it really powerful and really benefic. If you're one to look at Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid, that's currently in Aries as well. So there is a lot of healing and there's a lot of reflection. And even just as a general theme, a lot of generational work or ancestral work that's coming through, or a lot of healing around the family, or individuals I've seen or certain clients breaking free of certain molds or generational curses that they now see that they're meant to initiate new change within their family or within their community. And that's really coming forward right now. Because remember, the whole Aries motto is I am, which is an extremely powerful statement in whatever you want to bring forward. I am healthy. I am love. I am attracting money at all times. Whatever you want that statement to be, this is where you really get to sit back and ask yourself, what are you becoming? What energies are you attracting? Where do you have to implement some new change and some new passion to get you there, and where you know you're meant to be? And so no matter how you splice it, this new moon is going to initiate something. So I would really take this time over the weekend and even the next couple of days just to see what is coming up for you. And it might not be directly aligned with a huge goal, but it might be the motivation or just that energetic ping or download for you to start looking at, I really feel like I need to get more educated on this, or I want to start walking every day to get my health back up, or I want to incorporate more vegetables or vegetarian options into my diet. Whatever that is for you, you can just take that step back and assess what's coming through so that you can implement that change with ease, knowing that all of these little steps and all of these little changes are now paving the way for what you truly want. So those energies, very prominent. Just be careful of that Venus square Pluto, because I know a lot of people right now are longing for that love or longing for a connection, and a lot of these lockdowns or just the pandemic is affecting that energy or that connection that they're wanting to feel. And so again, a way to remedy that is just to pour in that self-love or whatever you're wanting or needing from a partner or friendship, and give that to yourself. And like I said, a lot of these changes can take a full 6, 12, 18 months. Now, it's not meant to discourage you. It's just knowing that once we can change the mindsets and change our beliefs, it's going to be reflected externally always. And so if you keep running into the same roadblocks or you keep repeating a similar cycle, take time to just note what you're thinking. Just like when people are pivoting with their nutrition, sometimes keep a food journal. You can keep track of your thoughts, and when they're starting to wane or when you're starting to think negatively, you can notice what energies you're feeling that elicit those thoughts, or if after certain conversations or certain people that contact you, if those thoughts and energies are coming forward, so you can exactly pinpoint why this cycle keeps reappearing and what steps you're taking that are causing it. Kind of like how we talked about burnout before. When we try and do everything over and over and over again, it keeps leading to that end result. Most things in life are quite cyclical. So if you can identify where things are getting in your way from an emotional and thought pattern, then you can have little tools to remedy that so that you're consistently in the frequency or the energy that you desire. So I think those were the main things I really want to touch on. Things to look forward to as well astrologically is that we have Venus moving into Taurus on April 14th, and then Taurus season starting on the 19th of April, and Mercury will also enter Taurus on the 19th as well. So for those with Taurus energy, especially Taurus rising, and if you were born at night, having Venus in your first whole sign house or just any prominent Taurus energy, Venus is in her domicile. It's such a beautiful energy. We still have her combust the sun, but still it's going to bring a lot of benefic energy. And for all earth signs, that's going to be really strong because Venus will create a nice trine-based aspect. So look forward to that. I will say, and I'll talk about this more later in general in terms of content and lunar workshops, but with Taurus season, we're going to have that Saturn square Uranus, which can be quite frictional, like we experienced back in Aquarius season. And we're also going to be having a huge influx into Taurus, which is going to make squares to everything that we have in Aquarius. And so if you naturally have a lot of Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius energy in your natal chart, you might feel a lot of push and pull and tension and death and rebirth during Taurus season. So that's just to be aware that those energies are coming. Again, that's not always bad. It means that things are going to be shifting a lot and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to grow and change and evolve. But just to keep that in mind, that if you do have a lot of fixed energy, when Taurus season does come along, you're going to be feeling it a lot. Just how last year Cardinal energy really felt it, this year it's the fixed signs that are really going to be going through it and growing. So if you can initiate those new change and those new habits now, it'll really serve you. And the one thing I will say about habits before I move on to the tarot, when I was studying kinesiology in sports medicine and sports science in university, in terms of habitual change and making a habit into a permanent habit into your life, a lot of the research showed that it took 6 months for that change to settle in. And so if you find yourself really trying to initiate change in self-love to avoid burnout or attracting toxic relationships or starting a new job or starting anything, just see how long you go. And if it does falter after a month or two, again, kind of going back to see where that limiting factor or limiting belief is coming from. And if you have been doing this work and it's already been 6, 8, 10, 12 months, know that these changes are now permanent and now you're just simply playing at a different level. So these are just things not meant to discourage, but just to note that if you're going to make a new change and to set a new goal, make sure that you can hold that change for 6 months if you really want it to be a new habit. So maybe instead of working out 5 days a week, you're just going to make sure every Monday and every Friday that you do 30 minutes of activity. And then once that change has been enacted, you're going to add a second or a third day, whatever it means for you, so that you can build that strength and autonomy. And so that goal can just keep growing and growing. Because I think a lot of times too, in this, I think is a factor of social media, we see everyone else succeeding or everyone else putting out successful or beautiful content, and it can make us feel discouraged or that our numbers are not aligned with our success or our power. And also, just sidebar, fuck the numbers. Some of the best healers and some of the best people I know have less than 1,000 followers. And it boggles my mind because they're so talented and they're so powerful and their numbers just don't reflect it. So don't be influenced by a large number. Simply trust the energy and your intuition when choosing certain healers or certain people to work with. I think that's really going to serve you well. Okay? Good. So with the tarot, I thought it was very interesting because the very first card we have, Ace of Swords. We've been talking about these new mindsets, new change, new habits that you're wanting to elicit. So note that and really be present with these new ideas that are coming through for you at this time. And a lot of people ask, what do you mean by a download or a ping? These are just little thoughts or ideas that can come to you that maybe you've heard for the first time, maybe you've consistently heard it over and over and over again. And I do think, just based on the next two cards, that it might mean stepping back from certain relationships. It might mean stepping back from even a certain job or career that isn't serving you, or a collaboration. And on paper, It may not make sense, but your soul knows what it needs to do in order to move ahead. And so the next two cards with that Ace of Swords energy, we have the Five of Swords with the Eight of Cups. So, and I've just seen this over and over again, either personally or with friends or with clients. When you're doing a lot of this work and you're making the sacrifices and you're growing and evolving and changing, a lot of friends or family will come at you and project their own fear, doubt, or ego. And it can sometimes make you question whether or not you should continue growing, because it may mean that you're leaving a safety net, or that a culture or a group that you really resonated with is no longer fitting with where you need to grow. And that can be very challenging, especially if it means that arguments may happen, or that you're having to defend yourself for just wanting to pursue a healthier lifestyle or growing. And I see this a lot of clients when they're wanting to step back from the party scene, or just wanting to hook up consistently, or just going and doing the same thing with certain friends, and they just invest a lot of time, and those friends will keep on asking them to hang out and to party and to do all these things, and they know that they really want to put that time and effort into something else. And so especially with that Five of Swords, you don't need to justify or to fight or get in these ego battles with everyone else. When you know certain ideas, breakthroughs, miracles is another big energy with that Ace of Swords, this unlimited potential for beautiful ideas, beautiful mindset, and beautiful beliefs to come in. And also too, in terms of channeling, you don't need to share all of your goals and all of your dreams with everyone, because some people just generally don't wish you well, and they might just project, like I said, negative energy onto those dreams, which can just cause a delay, or even just implant a little seed of doubt that can make you question whether or not you should be going down that road. And with the Eight of Cups, I just honestly feel, I'm not saying that anyone needs to leave their job or leave a certain friendship, but if you're getting this succinct call that you're meant to pursue something bigger, something higher, in around 6 months or so, you may find yourself leaving unaligned friendships or jobs or opportunity that at the time, or even last year, seemed like a great idea. Everyone around you is very supportive, but now with everything that you've learned and everything that you are growing into, you know that that's no longer aligned. So just keep that in mind, that as you're growing and changing and evolving, that some relationships, opportunities, or loves will need to be released in order for this new expansion to happen. And always, 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 no matter what, God, source, the universe is going to push back on you just a little bit to test you, to make sure that you can withstand and to support the blessings that are coming. So if you've released toxic lovers or friends or opportunities, they may come knocking on your door one last time. And that will be really when you get to decide, this isn't for me, thanks, but no thanks, or just not even answer, because you know it's not worth your time and energy. You get to decide. So just be aware of all these beautiful changes. I do generally love the Ace of Swords because it is going to give you new breakthroughs, new ideas. You can even just see that crown at the top of the sword representing our crown chakras. So as I said earlier in this workshop, if you need to take a couple days just to unplug, to stay away from social media and see what you're wanting and what you're needing moving forward over the next 6 months, you can initiate that now. So when we get to Taurus season and all of this change is happening everywhere around the world, your resolve is already steadfast. You already know what you need to do, and all of this external noise around you and all these people running around at lower frequencies, you won't have to worry or be stressed out as much, because you already have everything that you need to move forward successfully. And what's interesting is, and I do think that a lot of you will be moving very quickly once you accept these downloads, or once you really go after simply what you want. Bottom card, we have the Chariot with that Eight of Pentacles. So the work that you know you need to do might just be very daunting, or you know that there's going to be a lot of effort put forth to make this dream come true. And that's okay, because the chariot is going to give you that confidence and that boost and that movement to get things done. And also too, if some of you feel like you're going to be moving homes, spaces, cities, or just travel is coming in the next 6-12 months, this is also very telling that the work that you're doing is going to take you higher, is going to propel you forward. So don't be afraid of that, because the cards on the bottom of the deck sometimes are things we cannot see. And also just noting, if you're wanting to move forward in your life, that the work has to be there. Like we said, to create that energetic foundation for all of these blessings to land on. You're either doing the work internally, or you're just continually on top of the things and helping it grow. But just knowing what stage you're at, whether it's that contraction, the internal work, or the expansion that's coming, and knowing what phase you're at and where you need to go and where you need to add in some self-care and some rest as to not burn out. It's just going to help you ebb and flow through these cycles with a lot less stress and headache moving forward. So yeah, lots of growth, lots of release, and lots of movement for those who are willing and able to do this work. So that's all I got, just making sure that I haven't missed anything significantly. No, we're good. Perfect. So we are now going to enter into the meditation. So if you want to pause, allow yourself to get comfortable, light a candle, grab a crystal, whatever feels best for you. And then when you are ready, we shall begin. So, when you're in that comfortable position, you can close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. One more deep breath in and exhale. I want you to feel yourself inside a beautiful log cabin. You can hear raindrops pinging on the roof and outside of this cabin. You can take your coat off and settle into this space knowing that you're completely safe. This cabin has beautiful earthy tones, redwood, and pictures of yourself with loved ones all around it. I want you to turn to the right, and you're going to enter your bedroom as a beautiful king-size bed. And there's a fireplace burning at the foot of the bed. I just want you to sit there and warm up by this fire. You can feel if you're holding any stress or tension in your body, and just allow that to be released right now. And on the right side of the bed, you're going to see a table. Has a lot of beautiful spiritual tools and crystals. I want you to take the clear selenite crystal that you see on that table, and you're just going to allow this crystal to go over every part of your body. And if you're feeling any stress or tension in your throat, chest, stomach, or hips, you can allow this crystal to absorb that energy. Almost as if you're combing your body with this beautiful, clear selenite crystal. And note if there's one part of your body that feels a little bit heavier, you can just hold the crystal above this part of your body and allow any energy to be absorbed. Beautiful. Take one more deep breath in and just allow this beautiful oxygen to flow to all parts of your body. And exhale any last bit of energy that is no longer resonating. Excellent. Now, simply looking at the fire, I want you to see if there are any messages or energies that are coming through for you. This fire is representing the new life and new energy that you're currently bringing in to this timeline. You may see visions of yourself with a beautiful lover, or excelling in your career, or just being happy and healthy, laughing with loved ones and friends. And if you feel called, you can ask yourself, in the energy of this room, what do I need to do at this time to bring in more love into my life? The energy can be reflected back to you in these flames, or just internally you'll know if there are any obstacles or energy that are being presented at this time. Now, to the left of the fireplace, you're going to see this beautiful sword with a golden handle, jewels encrusted along the way. I want you to take this sword and just put the tip into the fire to allow this sword to be ignited and activated. And now I want you to see in front of you if there are any individuals, any energetic contracts, any old friends, lovers, bosses, or just an obstacle such as time or fatigue or a limiting belief in front of you. And you can take this sword and allow yourself to banish this energy or this limiting belief from your energetic sphere. You can do so now. And as you glide your sword, this belief in this energetic contract is leaving your psyche, is leaving your body, and is no longer going to pose as such a significant obstacle or stressor in your life. And you can take a moment now to identify if you have any other limiting beliefs or stagnant relationships that are causing you pain or distress or discomfort. And you can use this sword that you're wielding to remove these energies. Beautiful. Now, you can hang the sword back up to the left of the fire pit. And now, the table that you grabbed the selenite crystal, you're going to notice a diary and a beautiful pen. And I want you to take that diary and I want you to write down 3 things or more that you're currently bringing into your life. These can revolve around self-love practices, health, opportunity, soul purpose, whatever you feel called to do. And write down these blessings, write down these new habits, write down these dreams into the diary. And don't allow any obstacles or limiting beliefs to impede what you're wanting at this time. And as you're writing, you can feel the heat of the fire completely encapsulating you. And you may even feel past ancestors currently in this room, or spirit guides around you, supporting you, sending their love to you in this moment as you are initiating new change into your life. Now, once you're done writing, you can either take this piece of paper and hold it with you and keep it, or you can allow the flames in front of you to ignite it, knowing that all the new change and dreams that you're initiating are going to be ignited with passion and energy. And now, before we take off, I want you to turn to the right, and you're going to notice a beautiful cabinet full of golden jewelry. There's going to be crowns, tiaras, rings, bangles, bracelets, boots, every beautiful accessory that you can imagine. And I want you to pick at least one and put it on. You're going to feel the power and the energy of this beautiful garment elevate your frequency. And you're also going to see a beautiful vanity mirror right beside you. And as you look at yourself, I want you to give yourself love and appreciation for all the hard work that you've done, for showing up right now in this moment. And whatever I am statement you want to say to yourself in this mirror, you can say so 3 times, whether that is, I am love, I am a goddess, I am a king, I am attracting money. Whatever you're wanting to say in this moment, say so now into this mirror and feel those words being activated in your body. Beautiful. Now, take as long as you need in this room, or you can go back into the foyer of the cabin. You're going to notice that the sun has now come out and is shining its beautiful rays and light into all the windows of this cabin. You may just simply feel lighter and more aligned. And if there are any other messages for you to receive from God, Source, Universe, your spirit guides, your higher self, you can now be open to those messages now. Now, bring your mind back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Allowing yourself to process what you just experienced. And coming back into your body. Remembering where you are. What you're wearing. Wiggling your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, welcome back. So that meditation was really an opportunity for you to see what was coming up and just to release anything that's currently might in your way. I know that new moons are all about setting new goals and intentions, but we need to see what's coming up first. If there are relationships or energies or beliefs that are holding us back, so we can address the root issue first. Remove it, and then plant these new seeds of goals and intentions in their place and help to cultivate those. Also note that you can go back to that meditation whenever you need to see what other energies are coming through, or if you just need to pick me up at any time and to utilize this beautiful fire energy, remembering that the sun astrologically is exalted in the sign of Aries. And you can use the sun to purify your body and to purify your mind if you need a pick-me-up, or simply fire energy, whether that's a fireplace, a candle, working out, having sex, activating the heat and using that to create new life. I also wanted to just thank everyone and all of you for watching and joining. If this workshop really resonated and you want to share with a family or friend who could also use this knowledge, please do. And I will see you shortly for the Scorpio full moon at the end of this month, which is also going to be a doozy. Okay? Enjoy this beautiful new moon energy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.